Alright, so I've been recently upgrading some units and I'm starting to lack some Super Awakening coins, and this week we actually did get a time-limited dungeon key. And so I thought, you know what, with a possible collab being just around the corner, I might as well just farm out some Super Awakening coins, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into the Clock Tower of Eternity. We have 30 minutes to actually beat this, and the team we're gonna use is, actually I'm gonna use Roxy here. Now, if you watched my previous video on this, you know that you can just 2-turn it with Escanor quite easily, Yeah, it's actually 2-turning it. But what I actually want to see is if I can actually 2-shot it. And what I mean by that is just using 2 cards instead of 3 cards to kill the boss and or like the side mobs. Now the only gripe I have with this team is of course this thing right here. You might actually need to have her 6/6 in order to do that, because I did find that I'm just lacking just a little bit of damage in order to like 2-shot the first phase. But I did find that if I can get like 2 Escanor finger pokes, I can easily 2-shot the second phase. Here we only have 1 Escanor finger poke, but we're just gonna use the AoE attacks here. On the first phase, so we're using AoE attacks. Now 2-shotting this would be if like the first 2 attacks actually kill it. Then you're just saving yourself a few seconds of like a character animations or attack animations. So if that is possible, that would be amazing. And I'm not sure if an additional 7% attack related stats on Roxy would do that. So if I were to get her to 6/6, probably not. Like, we're just at the edge of being able to do that. Here, unfortunately, I will have to reset because I didn't get a chest drop from the first mobs. So we're just gonna keep going until I actually get that. And my cat is being really annoying right now, so I just have to go shut him up for a bit. Alright, I'm back, and by shut him up, I mean just giving him lots of pet skulls. He's just an attention seeker. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully we can get a chest here. The good thing about just being able to just 2-turn this, or heck, even 2-shot it, is you're just saving yourself some extra time to actually do these resets. And oh my god, he's still going at it. He's still being such a big baby and wants attention and pets and stuff like that. Well, at least we got 2 Escanor finger pokes, so we're just gonna do this. Those 2 attacks will kill, because you're doing like the initial Escanor damage, then you're doing the death damage, and then the additional like Roxy damage. As you saw, that was a lot of damage. Like, you're hitting the 360k. That's actually just crazy against this boss. So of course you can go with some other teams, like literally anyone can be replaced as like a 3rd unit, but you generally want to have Escanor and you want to have Roxy for this team to be able to at least 2-shot the second phase with Escanor's finger pokes. Otherwise, like any team, even without Roxy, say you don't have Roxy, can of course just 2-phase it. 2-phasing it isn't really the most difficult thing here. I do have a video on it already, and where I used the 1 ultimate. I used Purgatory Meliodas. I do believe you might need to use the 1 ultimate for that to be the case. Just because his finger poke does deal a little bit of extra damage. Now with Roxy, it deals even more damage, and like any sort of single target attack that is able to crit will crit. So here once again we got 2 more finger pokes, and we're just saving ourselves like 1 whole animation that we don't have to sit through. Like, it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. It's not a lot, but if it can make you like reset the dungeon once or twice extra in order to get some extra of these. Now, of course I didn't reset because I didn't get a chest from the first one. I'm just playing it now. It doesn't really matter for me. I do have 8 keys, well, 7 keys left right now. I should have like plenty of Super Awakening coins by the time like the collab comes out, and if it is a Attack on Titan collab, that's gonna be 6 new characters for me, and that's sort of the reason why I'm actually running this and why I'm actually making a video, so that you could also potentially prepare for it if you have Roxy. It's gonna be a lot easier. If not, like, do check out my other video. It should be in the same playlist that this video is in, so if that is something you need help with. But like other units, like of course, like if you don't have this mono, like you can use what's it called, the green Arthur that was given up for free like 2 years ago. Here we actually didn't get like the Escanor finger poke, so it's gonna be a 3-turn one, because I don't think you can kill him with Roxy and with Escanor. And this is once again, like, maybe you can with like the additional 10% attack related stats from Roxy, but that's just not happening here. I do wonder, does the attack-related stats also increase the sort of amount of damage that her that detonate card, or, well, it's not detonate, passive ability, whatever it is, the extra damage she deals, because it's based on like her initial attack at the start of the match or whatever. So I'm assuming that means 21,448, which is included with her, well, at 2/6 it's 4% additional attack related stats, so it's 4% additional attack is counted into the damage she deals. So I mean, possibly if you have her 6/6, you could just 2-turn the second phase quite easily, even without getting a second like Escanor finger poke. But yeah, like this is the team anyway. Other options other than like Arthur for the third position here with mono is like you can go Kizuna. Kizuna of course is gonna apply a buff to you. The buff is 30% attack related stats, and with a buff on, this boss does have a passive where it's gonna reduce the damage you deal to him if you're buffed up. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. I'm pretty sure it doesn't show here. No, it actually doesn't show here, but he basically gains like damage reduction if you do have a buff on. So that is a little bit weird, but we're just gonna finish it off here. That's gonna be the video. I'm not gonna drag it on for too long. It is just a sort of fun little team that you can use. And honestly, like, I really love using Roxy in both PvP and PvE. She's such a fun unit, and I'm considering making a deep dive on that character because she is so unique. She allows you to like circumvent damage caps and stuff like that. So she's a very, very interesting unit. I might just make a video for the bird boss and then do it like a deep dive or whatever. But so if you're interested in that and you're not subscribed, like, do consider subscribing for that. And we're just gonna finish it off here. This is gonna be the last run that you're gonna see. But yeah, tell me what sort of teams you're running this dungeon in. And this is the team I'm using, and I do find it to be quite fast actually, but I do kind of want to perhaps even two-shot this. So I'm not sure, are there any teams like you can use that is gonna enable you to actually two-shot it? Are there like any sort of human units that can deal a lot of well, it might not even have to be human units. They can deal a lot of AoE damage, and that also sort of buff you, because I'm using this mono simply for the reason that her passive, of course, is decrease the enemy's crit resistance and crit defense, so you will be able to crit them a lot easier. And as you can see, the boss does have his crit resistance and crit defense reduced by 30%, so you're gonna deal a little bit more damage. Her holy relic, like, my thought was it's gonna help us do a little bit more AoE damage on the first phase. Unfortunately, that didn't really pan out. I'm not able to like two-shot it, so that was like the reason why I'm using mono. But of course, like any other unit, I've tried a lot of them. I tried like Kyo, I tried Escanor, of course, Arthur, any sort of unit that like reduces the enemy stats, that buffs up our own stats somehow. I've tried them out. I couldn't really find a team that's able to like two-shot both phases. So, and this is like the only team that, well, at least if you can get the second Escanor finger poke, which shouldn't really be too much of an issue. But anyway, I think that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you liked the video. Tell me what teams you're using. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and yeah, I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.